guys, I'm Brittney Rivers and welcome to my channel. So today I'm doing something a little different for you guys. I'm kind of doing a story time type of thing, I guess. Collaboration, I guess you can call it. But I wanted to kind of give my contribution to Pride Month by having a special guest.
Are we starting now? Because you knew damn well I wasn't.
My brother.
I wasn't here. I'm not doing this. You definitely.
Cut. Hey guys, I'm Brittney Rivers. Welcome to my channel. I'm here with my brother.
My name is Errol, or Errol_the_barbarian on Instagram, or Errolwrites, because I write songs.
We'll talk more about that later, you guys. But anyway, let's get into this video. Bye, guys. And we're here to talk about his coming out story, his experience. What are we here to talk about?
And also answer those questions that you found on the YouTube tag.
Yeah. So, I just want to give you a little background about us. So, he's 4 years older than me. Yeah.
There's a lot more to me than being 4 years older than you. I am in graduate school. I write songs. I'm super into like fitness and health, and Brittney is my friend.
Oh, we are best friends, you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell, but I have a few questions here. Let me see what these questions say. So let's just skip to question 4 because that's what? That's what we're here for. So, describe what it was like coming out.
Well, it happens in waves. I think one thing that people think is like you only come out once, and like coming out is just this one-time thing, and then like you're free. But then the way it really happens is you have to come out to this person, and then to that person, and then maybe at work, and then maybe to your grandparents, and then maybe online, and then, you know, it just continues on and on and on. And so one thing, I think the first person I kind of came out to, or maybe like some friends I had in college, but not really friends anymore.
I thought it was me.
I don't remember. I really don't.
I thought it was me.
I thought it was them.
You came out to me when I graduated 8th grade just a few days ago. A few days before.
So wait.
No. It's before I graduated 8th grade.
So you remember the story more than I do. So you said that it was a Sunday. I remember talking to you about this random guy I had met on campus. Just randomly. He was asking for directions. But like the moment I saw him, like my heart stopped.
I remember what happened.
Okay, go ahead.
So I came back to his room. I was just playing on the computer like I usually do. And he was just talking about how he went on a date. He saw someone.
I did not go on a date with this person.
He saw someone, he went on a date, and then all of a sudden he turns the phone to me, showing me the picture of the person. And it's a guy. And it just didn't even, I don't know. I guess at that moment, I found out, oh.
And make sure to let them know that you had no clue for some reason.
For some reason, me being 4 years younger than him, at this time, I'm probably in middle school.
And my best friend. Talk every day. I
just never thought about his sexuality. Now, I played Bratz all the time growing up, and this is the person I would always play it with.
We were taller than that.
We were both just as passionate about the Bratz. I remember sometimes.
I mean, they're fabulous.
Sometimes, like, he would have me go check out the Bratz doll when we would go to Walmart together. And, like, the cashier, I remember one time the cashier said, "Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet buying this for your sister."
I remember the exact doll.
Yeah, you're so sweet buying this for your sister. We played dolls up till, like...
we're not doing that.
For a while, like... No, you guys.
We're going to edit that out because I don't want that to be public.
It's just something I never thought about it. Like,
even though I played with dolls, you didn't put 2 and 2 together?
No, I didn't think that. Like, that's just not what I
Well, you always grew up in a household where that was, like, accepted. Our parents were always very, you know, open and supportive and artistic in their own ways. And so it was always, you know, kind of a welcoming environment for self-expression. I'll put it that way. But then in any case, I started talking to her about like other people I thought were attractive at
Ron
that time.
Weasley from Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter.
So I ruined Harry Potter.
No, he didn't ruin Harry Potter. It was just like, what? Now, I always had a crush on Ron Weasley. So did we have the same taste?
See, we were always very close. And we had the same taste in men. And it changed.
It changed. Well, yeah. So, number one question. What do you identify as?
You know what? That has changed over the years. I do know that I like me some men. I would sign like gay or whatever.
I'm just skimming through these questions. I want something juicy.
Oh, Wendy Williams.
10. Have you been in a relationship and how did you meet?
So you have to watch my boyfriend's video, La Comida de Jermie. You'll tag him.
Yeah.
Know about how we met. But yes, I am in a relationship. We just had our 5-year anniversary.
So that's all he giving us, you guys.
Okay, we met on Instagram. It went down in the DMs. We will say that. And you have to go to his page to see more.
Okay.
Whenever he posted.
How did you discover your sexuality?
I don't know. I really, really don't. I remember I used to like draw Aaliyah, and I thought she was just like the most beautiful person in the world, you know, regardless of her gender. I just loved Aaliyah. I loved Christina Aguilera, but in hindsight, I can kind of see that I just idolized my musical queens. But I also had crushes on girls in like elementary school and even middle school. I think sometimes you just kind of know, and I don't know if I just necessarily knew until I knew. Like, it was kind of like you in a way. Like, it surprised me. I thought, ain't no way.
Well, you had no idea all this time.
I mean, I knew. I started to think some people were like good looking and stuff, but I guess the difference was I never saw myself as like getting married and settling down with a man, because I mean, even though I'm so young, it was still like not really like an option, at least that we saw like in the media and stuff like we do now. And so I guess I just kind of didn't like see it as like as an actual like option for like a romantic partner. I don't know. Huh.
So something that's interesting, I know people always bring it up, like on video games and stuff. When they play video games, I always pick the girls' characters. I always wanted to play with girls and stuff like that, and that's how they knew. Do you think that's the same thing that happened with you? Because we play video games together all the time. We play video games
all the time, and you knew. I actually remember one specific incident where I went to a family gathering, and the kids were playing video games, like a wrestling game, like a WWF or something, and one of these cousins or whoever this relative was shows this big burly man, and you know, I wanted me a girl,
probably Trish
with a nice outfit. Actually, I don't know if you remember this, but when we used to play like those types of games at home,
I would always be a man. But it doesn't always mean that, because I would always be like the male character.
No, but here's the thing though. What I was getting at is, like, we wouldn't just play to fight. We would have to like make a story like they were in a relationship and then there was a fight, or there would have to be some kind of larger, more dramatic narrative.
The same with our brats. We had some very intense storylines.
But in any case, and so, I mean, maybe I was just imaginative. That didn't necessarily say anything about like somebody's sexuality. But I think that is something that I experienced and which turned out to be an indicator for me. But we do need to be sure to say that, you know, there aren't like telltale signs. I mean, some people might say this person looks gay, or this person sounds gay, or this person does this. and that's some kind of indicator of them being straight or whatever their sexuality is, and that's not something that I stand behind.
11. Have you ever faced discrimination?
Discriminate. It's really hard as people of lots of things like me. I can think of one even like kind of recently in the past 3 years where I was at a Kroger, and I was just like walking, doing my grocery shopping, and some lady said, what did she say? She said something like, something about how I was walking like a sissy or something, and like yelled it in the middle of Kroger, and like everybody's looking, and I'm looking too, like, who's she talking about? And she was talking about me, and I wasn't like scared or anything because I'm in the this big burly man.
Another question is, what is something you'd like to tell the world about the LGBTQ community?
That we are part of every other community as well. I think that's one thing that's super important. We are not just in the LGBT community. I'm part of the Black community too. We're part of the Latino community. We're part of the American community. There are disabled LGBT people. There's a lot of diversity within our community. There are a lot of people who don't get along in our community and aren't exactly alike in our community, and there's conflict within within this LGBT community as much as there is in all of the other communities as well. And so really we are just kind of fighting for our humanity and for love and for our existence and for our lives in some way, just like everybody else.
So what do you have to tell young people struggling with their sexuality or questioning their sexuality?
So everybody's situation is different, and I don't want to tell anybody to do any particular thing. I think that's kind of dangerous when you don't know if someone might be facing some kind of issue where they are homeless or something. And so I don't want to say anything like that, but I do want to say that and I hate to say this because it's cheesy, but it really does get better. I hate that, but it does because any kind of insecurity you have, any kind of fear that you have gets better once you own it. And once you kind of accept it for yourself, it's just like any kind of bullying. If somebody doesn't like your hair or whatever, once you kind of take ownership of whatever your hair is like or whatever you're like, people, if somebody says something to you, it won't matter to you. Can't nobody tell you anything if you know who you are and if you respect yourself and kind of love yourself for who you are and kind of get to the place where you are comfortable with yourself. I think self-acceptance and self-love is like this ongoing thing. You're not just there when you turn 21 or when you turn 25 or whatever, but I just think if you kind of commit to respecting yourself, whether it's out and proud in public or even if it's just to yourself, and really honoring who you are and who you want to be, then I think I said a lot, but then people that's what we are not gonna do. Then
don't stop talking now.
Then life, it becomes easier because it just does. That's just how life is. Period.
Have anything else you want to add?
No more questions?
What do you want some more?
I'm an Aries. But I'm a nice Aries. There's a really bad stereotype that we have.
We not getting in that astrology mumbo jumbo.
I really like that my family, and I just feel like everyone was very supportive of me, and even if they didn't see it coming for some reason, They really show me love, and a lot of the time, I think I was so kind of hard on myself about it that I almost kind of like projected that onto other people. I had a lot of people who could have been my allies a whole lot sooner had I really gotten to that place of like self-acceptance and love and stuff. And so let other people in, because it is good for you, it's good for them, it's good for your relationship with other people. For people to see that there are gay people and trans people and bi people and lesbians and all other types of people within those different spaces.
Okay, you guys. So like I said, his YouTube and Instagram is Errolwrites. He writes songs, you guys, and he plays the guitar, you guys.
I don't play well. I just started playing guitar.
Make sure you check him out. You be the judge of it.
That's what we're not gonna do. I'm just starting out, y'all.
You be
I'm
the
just starting
judge
out.
of it. So
but I love writing.
make
It's
sure
just I didn't know an instrument.
Make sure you go to his YouTube channel.
And also, if you want to know more about my relationship story, go to La Comida de Jermie. It will be in the description or something. And kind of hear about how I met my boo.
So I guess part 2 of this video, basically. But anyway, you guys, thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.